Hello guys, and welcome to another one of my Fortnite videos. In this video here, I'm gonna be talking about the Hydra. It may say number 3 on the weapon, but this here is my weapon of choice. It's my number 1. This is how the power level 20 level 1 version looks. And this is how it looks at power level 130, level 50 maxed completely with my home base power and the 4 squads I have. So this is the base weapon. It has fixed perks, meaning that you can't really get anything besides this. It gets an increased crit chance, reload speed, elemental damage as an energy, 20% damage and crit damage. It has a 95% crit hit damage and 19% crit hit chance with the base build, making it pretty awesome for everything, I feel. As it says, it's a hybrid weapon. It's a combination of an assault rifle and a shotgun, but it does count as an assault rifle. It has a decent knockback and a really good range. This here is like my ideal weapon. What we saw before was the base setup of the weapon without any bonuses from soldiers. As you can see here, any soldier gives it a 10% range damage boost. So that is like, you can one-up it with that, bringing my 130 to 61,000 DPS, 27,000, almost 400 damage per shot. So pretty awesome stuff. We can one-up this even further, of course we can, putting in something such as the Rescue Trooper, or you could go with Love Ranger Jonesy, because in addition to the advanced tactics giving the 10%, they have 24% in assault damage as well. So that is pretty awesome. And a very important thing about using the Rescue Trooper is that we gain a 40% increased ammo capacity, and the Hydra only has 10 shots, so it's pretty important. There are many other options you can use to boost your option. I didn't really bring in the Urban Assault before, but of course you can go for increased headshot damage with that one. We have assault critical damage with the Sergeants. There are many support bonuses you can choose to one-up your assault weapon damage. And I'm just going through some of the things that I have here. The Berserker, of course, gives the assault weapon damage just as the Master Grenadier. And if you have Wukong, he's like another one of the kings in that category. So those are some of the options you can go with. The Shamrock Reclaimer increases energy damage by 10%, and the Hydra deals energy damage, so that is like a thing as well. Boosted up completely, my power level 20 deals 10,000 DPS and my 130 83,000 DPS, so pretty crazy stuff. My favorite weapon, and what I'm going to be doing through the rest of this video, is to like showcase some of my shots with it. This is obviously a weapon that deals the most damage when you are playing it as a soldier. It can one-shot most non-husky husk things in a headshot if you have a soldier that has built for additional damage, and of course if your home base power and your 4th squad, your survivors, allow for it. But this is not a weapon where the only thing you want to consider is damage. I mean, of course it's a weapon, so damage is super important. But there are many other things to the Hydra that make it really amazing. The speed, the range, the knockback, those are all things that you kind of need to take in consideration, and that is why I feel this here is the best all-round weapon. Of course, different classes can use it in different ways to get the most out of their other abilities. And in this video here, I've tried to like summarize some of the things, some of the different classes that I play with on a regular basis. You're rarely defending against just a single husk, and that is where the one downside of the Hydra comes into play. It is the 10 ammo capacity of the weapon. You have 10 shots unless you have options to boost it, as what I showed you guys before, which means that you need to reload quite often. So I can go with an additional ammo capacity for the weapon, but I rarely choose to do that unless I'm playing with it on my main soldier hero, because I do want additional damage or other options for my support and tacticals, but you do actually have things you can put in there as well. The 10 ammo capacity becomes like really obvious when you're taking out smashers, because any hero that I have can one a smasher with no problems. It is never a problem if you are like in any kind of random mission and you're gonna be taking on a smasher, especially because you can pop your cooldowns, you can use your different class abilities to really maneuver the smashers around or get that super increase to the damage, but often what we see when we are doing things such as an Atlas is that you're gonna be having 4 or 5 smashers coming at the same time on top of really huge waves, and that is where I can really feel the 10 ammo capacity of the Hydra in effect, because alright, so you can take on a smasher easy paint, but most of my heroes, even with my relatively high home base power, can take out a smasher with between 15 and 20 shots. So some of them that are like not completely damage focused, such as my constructors or outlanders, they may need like 30 or 40 shots in order to take out a smasher if it is solo style, whereas my super damage focused warriors, soldiers as they are called, can do it in between 10 and 20 depending on whether or not I use Warcry and the type of team I'm playing in, because the team boost has a massive impact on your DPS as well. So what this means is that if you are playing a defense styled missions where you're going to be getting a lot of smashers and your weapon of choice is a Hydra, you may need to pull out something else if the traps aren't like super strong, because sure, you can take out one, but you're going to be managing blasters and husks and pitchers and all sorts of crazy lobbers at the same time. So the Hydra for a base defense is really cool. But if you're getting flooded by smashers, you definitely need to have some type of other options if you aren't sniping them or using a rocket launcher, or have a really good base setup with nice defenses. Besides that, or even in that situation, I feel the Hydra is amazing, but that it really comes down to your team play then and what the others are playing. Regardless, Hydra and Smasher, I feel it is a super combination, and there has been like no Smasher I haven't been able to take on one-on-one. Most of the heroes I have here are power level 82. My weapon, of course, is power level 130, and I have a high home base power, but I can take my 82 hero, my high weapon, and take out a 100 Smasher without breaking a sweat. It does come down to sometimes I need to do a bit of cleanup at the same time by taking out the surrounding husks, but there is no non-defense styled missions where I have ever had any problems whatsoever with smashers when I'm playing with my Hydra. And that is really one of, like, smashers are important because they can wreck anything, no matter what you're playing. You don't want the smasher like being in the game for too long, because even though you can maneuver it, if you focus too much time on moving it around, you're gonna be having problem with other things in the game, regardless of whether it is a countdown or it is other husks taking down your stuff. So Smasher, Hydra, really good combination. I think I've been including pretty much all of my like default classes I've been playing the last 2 days here up against smashers, some ninjas. Important thing about ninjas, they can double jump over the charging smashers. Outlanders, they can put down the llamas and stuff like that to stop the smashers. Soldiers can often use their shockwave to like disturb the smasher, or they can go Warcry, take it out, use going commando if need be. And of course we have constructors that often have their like crazy charging options that really allow them to counter the effect of the smasher's charge, or they can put down their dummy to get the attention of the smasher as well. So a lot of options that you can use in like with your Hydra and your gameplay to just get these smashers down there. So yeah, that was just a little bit about smashers and classes and like tips to taking them out. I know that is semi-irrelevant to the weapon as such, but my point really being that you can use the Hydra with any class whatsoever, and you can use it both against single husks, chunks of husks, smashers, and a combination of those, and it is super efficient. But of course you kind of need to know how to play your class to get the most out of it. The last thing I want to say about the Hydra and smashers, as you can see, like the next couple of smashers I've included here are nature element smashers. It is an energy damage weapon, which makes really good sense because it makes it a really good all-round weapon, especially for progression, but also for getting through an area such as Canny Valley and to some degree Twine Peaks. It is an energy damage weapon that also works in the end game. Even though it is energy, and in being energy it doesn't deal a lot of damage to any specific element, it can be pulled out in any situation for a guaranteed damage to any kind of husk, and that really makes it one of the weapons that I always have ready to pull out, because there are some elements I don't have ideal weapons to counter, and in a situation like that I can just pull out my Hydra and I'm home safe anyway. Moving on to another one of my absolute favorite opponents in the game, the Blasters. I mean, if the Hydra didn't shine against normal husks, if it didn't shine against smashers, you have found your ideal opponent for the Hydra in the Blaster. It is absolutely amazing how you can use a Hydra to take out 1, 2, 3, even more than that Blasters without really being in danger from their laser eyes because of the staggering knockback option of the Hydra. You can knock the Blasters off a cliff with a few shots. You can counter the laser beaming eyes often with 2 shots from the Hydra. So if you are playing a class that isn't highly DPS focused, as you can see my warrior warcry soldier thing here just goes crazy, it eats them in a few shots. But if you're playing something that is a little less DPS heavy with the Hydra, such as a constructor for instance, or a ninja, you're not gonna be taking it out with just a few shots, but what you can do is just keep it standing, staggered, trying to shoot you with the Hydra. Just aim for the eyes, aim for the face. Don't rush it, don't use your Hydra to try to take down the Blaster fast if you are playing like a DPS weak hero or class. Just wait until it's about to shoot you. Take off 2 shots, it's gonna be staggered, shaking it a little bit around. Once it's doing that, you can hit the reload to gain your ammunition again so that you aren't like completely locked out in a reload cycle. And when it's about to shoot you again, give it 2 blasts in the head, and if you have 2, 3 or 4 blasters, you can just cycle these shots. Keep an eye on when they're about to shoot you, give them a few in the face, reload whenever you have time for it, and in a situation such as that, you won't really notice that you're running low on ammunition because you constantly have your reload cycled, timed with when the blaster is on like a shooting cooldown as well. It is super efficient, and it is one of the things I have more or less trained myself to do with the Hydra when I'm up against blasters, because I love to play a lot of different classes in the game. And of course when I'm playing casual gaming, for the most part I just pull out my Master Grenadier, but I enjoy a lot of the different classes and their different ways of being played, and because of that I've also like really gotten used to, if I'm not just playing grenade crazy, whenever I see a blaster, of course if I have going commando I use that. If I'm playing any other class where I don't have some kind of ninja instant takeout blaster trick up my sleeve, just keep an eye on the eyes and try to keep it staggered, stunned, knocked away, push it off a cliff, anything like that, by using relatively slow attacks. Unless of course you have a horde of enemies that you need to manage at the same time, then you can run into like a bit of a tricky situation. But playing with the Hydra is, you kind of need a few games to really get into how to play well with it. I feel so anyway, and I may not be a master yet, but I play with this weapon all the time. I get a little bit rusty in terms of playing it as an Outlander, for instance, because lately I have been playing the Shamrock mostly, but besides that I feel that I am pretty well in shape and used to using the Hydra with the different other characters. The reason why I wanted to bring up the Hydra right now is not just because I just did the Nocturnal review and I wanted to walk down memory lane. It is of course because we have an event coming on the horizon called Into the Storm, and we have previously had Storm named events that gave access to these Storm Zone items once again, and the Hydra is part of the Storm Zone item collection, so there is, I don't know like what percentage of chance there is for us getting it, but I know a lot of players out there want the Hydra, and I can understand that. It is my favorite weapon, so for all of you out there that don't have the Hydra, I am crossing my fingers that you're gonna be able to get it in 2 weeks when we hit this like Into the Storm event. So yeah guys, this was just a little bit of how I use and play with the Hydra, my thoughts on it. Point being, it is freaking awesome. As soon as you can get it, if you have any chance, grab it right away as the very first thing from the Storm Zone items. It is mind-blowingly amazing from the start of the game to the very end. For now guys, and as always, thank you very much for watching.